Hello and welcome to another video with myself, Matt, and James at Christopher Shaw. It's been a while since we made one of these, primarily because, as you can now probably see, we're in the office. We're not in our bedrooms or dining rooms anymore, and we have been back for a little while. So James is in the room next to me, obviously just maintaining a bit of social distance. I can almost touch him. No, the arm didn't work there. And we thought we would just give a quick update on a few bits, really. There's obviously been a bit in the news talking about recession today. It'll be something that we cover in a second. We wanted to cover a bit of business generation and how we've been finding it since we've been back in the office and doing viewings. Obviously, we've heard about stamp duty, so we will cover a little bit about that. And really, the last point is going to be covering a bit about the EICR, which obviously is now in full swing. And we have found some pain points and some observations from that over the last kind of month and a half since that's come into play. So really just some tips and advice and our observations on that hopefully will save you from tripping up when it comes to the time you have to do yours. So James, business generation since we've been back, obviously some encouraging signs, in particular since lockdown was lifted.
Yeah, certainly. I think that the general, we had definitely, once the restrictions were lifted on the market, things were very positive to begin with. I think that's continued over the last few weeks. It's been about 8 weeks now, I think, since we've been back able to do viewings and things like that again. And yeah, things have been very, very positive from that point of view. And it's kind of unusual, really, because it seems like nothing's ever happened. It's sort of been straight snap back into things, and things have been proceeding as normal.
Yeah.
Obviously, you touched on the announcement yesterday that the United Kingdom is in recession based on the last 2 quarters, but we're yet to see the impact of that yet on the market here. Whether further down the line with things like furlough and things like that, and things will change significantly, we'll have to wait and see. But for now, things are still quite positive. I think, as we've said before in previous videos, the lettings market is resilient to things like recessions and things like that, because people need places to live, and the supply and the demand, I imagine, will still be reasonably good. But we've got to see where we stand with it all. We're not going to know. We're all sort of learning as we go along with all of this, and I think that's important to take on board, is that what might be the normal right now might change significantly in the next couple of weeks, but at the moment things are good.
Yeah, no, it does seem so. In particular, what I would call the good value end of the market, anything kind of sub £900 a month, it's been really busy. We've had a lot of lets over the last 8 weeks. We've also let a lot from videos, which continue to be a very useful tool, where we still have had some tenants that are a bit nervous about letting people in, but it doesn't seem to be stopping us getting these properties let. There probably is a little bit of sensitivity to price. It has to be priced correctly. But as long as it is, the demand seems to be very, very good. Lots of inquiries coming in.
Yeah, certainly. And I think the video point is something which we've been pushing for several weeks now, and I think is really important. That now is a requirement for any new property coming on the market. Having a video in place is really, really important, and it really helps.
Yeah. So we've covered the first 2 points. Let's quickly go on to stamp duty, because obviously that hopefully will be a bit of a counteract to the dreaded recession news. Obviously, it might be a good time to purchase as a landlord.
Yeah, I mean, there is still stamp duty to pay on a second home. There's no escaping that. But it is reduced from the normal levels. I think it's 3% on a property up to £500,000, which means there could be some opportunities out there. We will explore those and see what might be around, and we're obviously happy to help people look for other investment properties if they want. If they've got people properties of what they've seen, they want us to cast our eye over, we're more than happy to do that. But yeah, there could be some really good deals out there for people that might be able to take advantage of that reduction in stamp duty.
Yeah, and I think you and I, James, we had a quick look through Rightmove, and we've maybe highlighted a couple of bits that we, stood out to us without going into too much investigation, but on first glance looked at potentially very good investments or things that would perform solidly. So that will be in this email down below. You just need to have a look at the links and click on those. We thought they looked interesting. The prices looked sensible. The condition of the flats, either the price factored in that it needed a bit of TLC, or that it needed no work at all. But certainly the locations of those properties we know rent very, very well. So have a look at those, and maybe if you are looking to expand your portfolio, maybe those are a good place to start.
Yeah, we'll put them on our blog as well. So if you go onto our website, you'll be able to find our blog under news and blog on the website. Have a look at it, and we'll put them all there as well for people to have a look at. But certainly worth looking at the market if you are interested in expanding your portfolio or adding a buy-to-let investment as well. So certainly there might be some good opportunities out there for you.
Yeah. So last point then, James, so we keep this nice and brief. Save the best for last. EICR compliance. This one is obviously new for this year.
Yes.
And I'm not going to say it hasn't caused headaches because it has. I think from our perspective on what we've seen over the last 8 weeks, getting the EICR, the electrical installation condition report, isn't the problem. The electrician can go and get that report, but I think what often is the case is we don't, or maybe Mr. Landlord or Mrs. Landlord don't consider is the potential of remedial works. And I think what we found up to the last few move-ins is that it can put a bit of pressure on deadlines, time restraints, move-in dates. So I think what we've picked up from it, James, is even if you have a tenant in situ, it's maybe better to do it while they're still living there, so you're not caught with a highly pressured situation where you've got no rent coming in. You've got obviously a void property where someone's moved out. You then get the electrician in to do the report, which costs money in itself. Then you have a big remedial bill, and obviously the time pressure of getting the property up to code before your tenant moves in. I think those are the problems that you and I have experienced over the last 8 weeks, is that even with 10 days before the tenant moves in, it may not be enough if problems come up on older properties that need upgrading.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, most of the time we're very fortunate in that we've got a really good electrician that helps us out with these things. But yeah, it does add an extra dimension of preparation before any tenancy. It's not like if an EPC is missing, where it's quite straightforward normally to get that back and be compliant. The EICR is a bit more to it because, we'll be honest, I don't think many people have checked their electrics for a number of years, and I think that's where these issues have arisen, because properties may not be at the standards they are now. They might be perfectly safe, but they're not at the standards that are required now to meet current safety standards, and that's the issue with the EICRs. And as Matt said, I think we've experienced that over the last couple of weeks as we've been trying to get these prepared for all the new move-ins that have come on since the 1st of July. But if your property is currently occupied, you have until the 1st of April 2021 to get them done. So it does need to be looked at and sort of planned in over the next couple of months, because it's a big change, I think, from the way most tenancies have been let. But the good thing is, once it's done for 5 years. So actually, you're once you're done, you're done for a little while, and obviously your standards will have improved in that time as well. So you won't necessarily be as far away now as what you might be then. So it's a good thing. It raises standards, raises safety standards, but it is just something to consider, particularly on tenancy changeover or renewal.
Yes, yeah. Renewals is the other point on that we've covered before, is that it's not just when the property comes up for relet, it's when a tenant renews their contract. So if you are thinking of having your tenant extend for another 6 months or 1 year, obviously that would need to be done prior to us being able to sign that document. So I think we just feel it's good to get it done, and then it is done for 5 years. You're going to have to get it done in the next few months anyway, but best to do it while you have income coming in from the tenant that's currently living there.
Absolutely. Well, thanks a lot, everybody. It's been great to speak to you again, and we will try and get some more of these out there again, and try and get some more guests. But thank you for watching, and we will speak to you all very soon.
Yep. Enjoy the heat. Take care.